Traders, welcome back to another price action trading lesson. We're looking at S&P 500 M&A futures. We started with bearish trend down. It was a weak trend. We close outside and we have massive push to test the new extreme, and the trend line rule played out. Right now we expect according to market cycle correction or reversal, and you can see we're using channels and key levels to help us understand the price action and predict the directional bias of the market. So because we have a break and new extreme right now, we expect possible correction reversal. In order for us to predict reversal, however, we need to see reversal pattern. So you want to see push above EMA, and this is happening. This is good. As you can see, we're already trying to predict a broader uptrend, predict a brand new direction. And the reversal pattern means we want to see a second entry short failing above the EMA. The reason why the second entry short should fail is because the late sellers who are selling the previous trend down are going to get trapped, because the downtrend played out with the break and a new extreme, and they're not paying attention. So this is why the reversal pattern is so powerful. And we have second entry short above EMA, bullish bar after the second entry, and there's going to be a break above this bar. It's going to create a failure which we need to take, and this is perfect felt second entry short reversal pattern. Textbook price action new low, first entry short, second entry short failure above EMA tier 1 signal bar. Now this formed exactly around the open, so we can't really take it because we are careful taking setups right at the open. But price action wise, this is a perfect reversal pattern. We definitely need to study this and learn this, especially if trend was so weak it resembles a trend range textbook reversal pattern. Great quick little scalp. We have a new extreme, we have a new high for a entry long. So right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to redraw my short-term downtrend working lower. We're breaking below EMA and we have a second entry long. But we pushed below EMA and the downtrend is in play. I need to see confirmation that the bulls are in the market once we push above EMA and a high low. Price action is struggling to go above EMA, and this is concerning. Why are we not staying above EMA? At this point, I need to pause looking to go long. It is also starting to be very congested, as you can see. Now, we have break and the new extreme. I still need to see high-low breakout pullback. Now we have high-low here. Problem is, it is not a clear breakout pullback. It feels like you're buying the breakout because you can make it a little bit higher and you can see still part of the congestion. You're breaking the higher, and most breakouts out of congestions, trend ranges will fail. This is a small version of a trend range. The signal bar is great momentum, but it is 3.5 points big. So definitely use limit order because you're buying the breakout. I can mark it more aggressive, but it is overall better just to be patient. It is just too flat. We need to get new high. This is why we're thinking bullish and not bearish. But EMA is so flat, it's starting to be a little bit sketchy. Okay, can we make a new high? We cannot. The market is trending lower, and this is concerning. Why we got rejected here and we cannot make new high on the first push? EMA is still flat and the bullish momentum is dissipating. So right now I gotta be really careful. At this point I'm really doubting longs because we should test the new high. Now we have double top. What's going on? Can we reverse? We have a second entry long, but I cannot go long. It is too flat, too congested. Bullish momentum is dissipating. We were supposed to make a new high on this push right here. Something is happening. No trade zone, too much congestion, and right now market is breaking lower. So notice what is happening. Price action is moving too far away from the initial channel. We have a break, double top, retest of the new extreme attempt, and sometimes traders, they consider attempt enough, and it looks like in this case the bulls consider the double top enough. So I'm no longer expecting new high of this uptrend because we're just moving too far away and this channel is losing in its effect of the structure. Okay, because we're moving too far away from the initial channel. So there's a brand new pattern developing, brand new biases and channels. So we have a break, attempt to create new high, and right now I'm going to follow this short-term price action. Break, new extreme. I cannot go long because we have lower highs. Now it didn't even trigger. There is no break above this bullish bar, so no worries. But had there been a trigger, I still don't like it because uptrend didn't reach a new high, so there's a sign of bearish imbalance. The lower highs, another sign of bearish imbalance, and we traded down at the start, so we're probably going to break lower. And because market keeps trading lower like this, I'm going to redraw a brand new downtrend, something like this, connecting the first and second swing, just like here, connecting the first and second swing. And the whole time I'm thinking about second entry short to like a pullback at the EMA. We cannot get it. We have only first entries far from the EMA. New low, lowest low, but I'm going to reset the count. I reset the count at each new low. So lowest low of this downtrend, this is what I'm using to count for first entry short. Now we have a second entry short, but it is so far from the EMA. There's a gap. A lot of times it will trap the shorts. It will create double trap at the EMA. I cannot sell this second entry short. It is just so far from the EMA, not even at the trend line. And price action is breaking strong above EMA. And now, because I can see such a massive push above EMA, I'm questioning my downtrend because why there are no confirmations? And this second swing was too strong. The first entry long was so broad and strong. It created a wider channel that doesn't fit that well. So what I like to do, because the structure is unclear, I like to make the channel just a little bit tighter, and you can see this channel fits much better. The price action really hugs the trend line. The better channel fits much better. Break, new extreme, and right now I'm pausing, looking to sell. However, we traded down the whole time, so I can't really go long, but downtrends played out. Now this is not a strong downtrend by any means. I was even thinking about possible channel like this, just in case it will come into play. So this is something I'm keeping my eye on, but you know, this is too broad of a structure. This is definitely a weak version of the downtrend, so we're going to be paying attention. Important thing is to point that it is not easy right now to understand what is going to be the bias, because you want to understand everything: bias, key entry point, and pattern. Right now we just have to follow the short-term channels. Massive push down. We're too close to these lows. I can't really go long. Second entry short, but the pattern means nothing if I don't have a bias and key entry point. We're so far from the EMA with the body. It's too far down to these lows. Massive leg down happen. What if there's going to be new high for this uptrend? Just no pattern, no bias. I cannot be taking this. Just waiting. Market keeps trending to the upside. You know, this is really unclear. It is too flat. Consistent price swings up and down. We're back below. We're back above. You know, this is a wedge formation. Trend line down. Trend line up. It's creating a wedge. This is indecision. It's so easy to get tempted here to trade it both ways. Remember, you have to follow the rules. You need to understand what's happening. You need to predict the setup before it forms. It's hard to predict anything here because it looks rangy, but we are making higher highs and higher lows. So it looks like it wants to break higher, but we trade it down. So you just gotta be careful. This is just area of development. And this got really confusing. I was first trying to play wide the channel like this and thinking about possible second entry long at the EMA. But once I can see massive push down and brand new downtrend being established, I have to redraw and adapt to this high channel with a small break, move to a new extreme. Downtrend is working lower, and once I'm playing this downtrend, I'm starting to be a little bit hopeful about the bigger pattern, but mainly this downtrend needs to get new extreme. We have a new low first entry short, pullback, second entry short. This is a second entry short, but the trend line to the upside is still in play, and more importantly, every single high is higher. Excuse me, every single low and high as well. So the reason why I skipped this today, because every single major low here is higher and higher. You know, it looks like there may be a bigger pattern. So this is confusing second entry short. I want to see confirmation. You know, it pushed lower. It didn't create micro double bottom to reset the count. And now we have a lower high confirmation setup. And this is better now, because we were confused about the structure here, but EMA held once, twice, great signal bar. This downtrend is new low, potentially bigger downtrend. So lower high is confirming our worries about the initial second entry short. This is absolutely gorgeous. High probability setup, lower high, confirmation of the second entry short, and the downtrend needs to get new extremes. This is a great setup. Work for a scalp, break a new extreme. At this point, I really don't think the wider channel is going to come into play. We have short-term uptrend working higher, like this. Yeah, at this point, you definitely need to adapt to more bullish / range structure. Market keeps breaking higher. I'm going to redraw a wider uptrend right now because this leg up is way bigger than this tiny little leg. So I'm going to adapt this. Okay, new high. Okay, we broke below the EMA. At this point, I'm thinking about second entry long because we need to get new high. But the fact that we already broke below EMA and the downtrend is in play is not looking good for bulls. New high first entry long, second entry long. We have a second entry long, but the downtrend is still in play. This is one leg down. We can get second leg down. Remember, this is not a strong uptrend by any means. This is extremely rangy. In fact, it is very tempting for me to be focusing on some potential resistance, something like this. So if I'm going to zoom back, this is extremely rangy, just a very, very weak uptrend. It keeps creating high highs and high lows, but the corrections are so sideways. EMA is so flat. You have to trade strong trends and weak trends differently. This is basically still a rangy pattern. You cannot be as aggressive. Downtrend is new low. There can be second leg down. I have to be patient here. Okay, second entry long, breaking extreme. Sometimes traders, they ignore the downtrend here, and the first leg there can be second leg because the trend is strong, super strong. You can see EMA holding every single time, minimal pullbacks, and then they take the same scenario into pattern like this, which is extremely confusing, too rangy, super weak uptrend. We can barely trust this wider uptrend to the upside, so we cannot be as aggressive as if you're trading basically the bullish trend straight from the beginning of the session. So now we have break a new extreme and push above EMA, so this is good for bulls. So right now what we expect, high-low confirmation setup, because we need to get new high. Now we have high-low. Problem is this high-low is quite big and closing quite up. You need to use deep limit order here. If you're going to use this, it has to be deep limit order, way more aggressive. I cannot say it is necessarily bad according to price session rules, because the downtrend played out to like a pullback, push above EMA is resuming the bullish bias, but it is just way too big and it needs to form much lower. By the time we get a failed second entry short, it is so far from the EMA we cannot take. And now we have basically a visual of failed second entry short. This is what it's called, a failed second entry short continuation. Failed second entry short, because you can see it visual as new low, first entry short, second leg down. And this is more friendly setup. So failed second entry short, decent bar. Once again, you should use limit order because it is closing quite high, but you still need to test the new high. And market created the new extreme, so we're going to mark the break and the new high. However, I cannot pick a top because you can see so much empty room here. This is very weak uptrend, still high highs and high lows, so we just need to be patient. I cannot go long, however, because uptrend already played out, so the longs are being paused. Market keeps working lower. We have a failed second entry long. This is how we predict reversal pattern. That is a bullish bar. I cannot sell below this bar like this. And we were trading up the whole time now, so the bullish bias is starting to be stronger, but it was a bad signal bar. Worked for a scalp anyway, but I don't think it is a good setup here. And we're back above EMA. Okay, so because we're back above EMA, now we have to ask ourselves why we're not reversing lower. There is no momentum for the sellers to create a new downtrend back into the trend range, and the fact that we're back above EMA like this begs the question, hold on, what is the big pattern? If I'm going to zoom back, now you can really use the 10,000 tick chart because there's a bigger uptrend at this point like this. It's much easier to see on 10,000 tick chart, which is a higher time frame, and this is a weak uptrend working higher. Every single low and high, the major is higher and higher. But corrections are so long and sideways, it is looking as the trend range tilted up. This is why it is weak. So it is best when we are trading a weak uptrend to let the correction play out and be buying low or wait for push above EMA and some push above EMA. You don't want to be trapped buying at the top of the push phase. Second entry long here, second entry long here. There's no second entry long, but had there been, because the weak trends, they generally will correct stronger. They don't have enough momentum, and you need to really let the correction play out and buy as low as you can. Okay, massive push down again. So we're just observing the price action break new extreme. I'm just drawing these channels. We have a new low first entry short, second entry short failure. Now this is tempting setup. Well, second entry short. And it's not necessarily bad price action wise because downtrend played out. We're bouncing off of these lows. Push above EMA is confirming the bullish momentum and resumption of the push phase. But you don't have room to scalp before reaching the trend channel line. Notice you're buying quite far up. It is much better to buy a little bit lower and not at the top like this because it can pull back. Okay, it's correcting. You can see if you keep your stop loss one tick below the signal bar, it still would have worked. This is why we use the price action structure to use stop loss always one tick below the signal bar. And this is a very similar pattern to what formed here. This is, we can call this high-low confirmation setup or the failed second entry short. You know, it is a little bit too sideways. Notice how flat the EMA is. Once again, price action wise makes sense, but when you're watching this live, you can see how flat this is. Price swings up and down. Hard to pull the trigger here. You know, price action wise, it is definitely correct setup. You're back above EMA, confirming the failed second entry short. Because the trend is so weak, it's definitely harder to end here. Now, had this been second entry long, we could have entered. But this high broke these highs. Otherwise, it would have been first entry long, second entry long. That would have been great. EMA keeps holding twice, second entry long would have been perfect. But because there's a new high again, I don't think we can take it now. It still would have worked, but we cannot take it just because it worked. We have to reset the count here. Normally, if the trend is strong, you can consider this visual, but the trend is very weak now. Downtrend keeps working lower. You have a new high, first entry long, second entry long didn't trigger. We're trending lower, so we want to see downtrend playing out and push above EMA and something like this. Okay, we're spot on bouncing off the trend channel line, as you can see, and there is some support here being formed. You can see the trend line is holding, support is holding, but I really believe we need to see the push above EMA and get some high low. It is also getting quite late, so basically no setup here. The market is attempting to create a new extreme push above EMA and a failed second entry short. Today was rollover date. I'm using the June contract already. When there is rollover, it definitely tends to be a little bit slower, so no surprise today's price action was definitely quite choppy, but once everyone rolls over, it's gonna be much easier. So this is the main structure for the day. I hope you had a good trading day. I'm gonna wrap it up, and I'm gonna talk to you next time. Good luck with your trading.